Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
Welcome to the show. Gomez Watches Seinfeld. We're here. We're back. Season 2 has started. Wow. What a long journey this has been so far. Finished off season 1 last week. Season 2 started off this week.
Had some rocky moments last season.
Yeah.
We almost didn't make it.
It was, there were ups, there were downs, there was ins, there was outs, there was blacks, there was whites. But we are here. It is Gomez Watches Seinfeld. I am Louis J. Gomez.
Kickoff party season 2.
Puerto Rican Rattlesnake. She is Jeniece E. Gomez. Give us our party hats. It's kickoff party.
No, those are finale props. Those are finale props.
Well, we need fucking kickoff season premiere props.
We're here. Let's discuss.
That's enough. Okay, good. So, all right, let's see. Where are we at in history now? It's season 2, episode 1. What's the date that this aired?
Let's see if you know this. January 23rd, 1991.
January 23rd. Is that a date that's supposed to mean something to me?
Yes.
January 23rd, 1991. I am 9 years old, about to be 10. No, I'm about to be 9. I'm 8 years old, about to be 9 years old.
James's age.
I'm James's age.
A little older.
What should I know about this time in history?
Well, January 23rd was your Grandma Rose's birthday, 76.
My Grandma Rose.
Mm-hmm.
My Grandma Rose hated my guts.
Yes.
She really did.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked about my Grandma Rose before. I have a rose tattoo on my arm. I say I got it for her, but the reality is I got it because I wanted a rose tattoo, and that was an excuse to have a rose tattoo.
Yeah, you didn't love her very much, so I didn't understand the rose tattoo at all.
It's not that I didn't love her. I had a moment with her. I had a couple moments with her.
Do you remember the moment in the hospital?
Which moment?
This is a great story. When she was in the hospital bed.
Oh, and we were there for Thanksgiving, and we were.
No.
It was a birthday. What was it? It was a holiday.
No, I don't remember if it was a holiday or not.
It was a holiday. And didn't she ask where I was? Like after 2 hours of hanging out?
No.
You don't remember that one?
No, that's
okay.
Great,
Yeah.
though.
You don't remember. You don't remember that one where we were just hanging out for Thanksgiving, and then after about 2 hours of being there, which I hate hospitals to begin with. My great grandma Rose, she was in the hospital for probably the past year of her life. The last year of her life.
Yeah, in and out.
Really sick, very miserable old lady. And I hated being in hospitals in general. I hated going to visit the hospitals, the smell of hospitals, the fucking cafeteria. We'd always have to get...
Oh, her mother loved cafeteria hospital food, yeah.
Ugh, it was so goddamn
loved
awful.
it.
It made me so depressed.
Yeah, me too.
And then I remember after about 2 hours on Thanksgiving dinner, she was like, "Where's Lewis?" And I was like, "I'm right here, you fucking old bag. The fuck is wrong with you?"
No, I don't remember that.
So what were you talking about?
It might have been like the same day. It might have been that very afternoon when she was sitting in the bed and she had like the blanket pulled up with nothing on her bottoms.
Oh, yeah, we saw her pussy?
Yes, just legs open and you're just looking over and then you keep looking back. It was awful.
Yeah, it was fucking, she had a catheter in it.
Did she? I didn't even remember that.
It was a lot.
Ugh, I wasn't looking that hard.
And I remember one time she said, my grandma Rose, I've told stories about her on other podcasts. Me and my sister, my Aunt Anne Marie and my Grandma Rose helped to raise us. And during our younger years, when my mom had like dumb day jobs, my Grandma Rose would watch us. Now, my Grandma Rose hated children. Oh. She hated fun. She hated laughter.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So what would happen is if me and Jenny were playing a simple board game and laughing.
Watching a show.
Just watching a TV show and maybe a little tiny itsy bitsy giggle. Just whatever it is. We'd hear from the back bedroom. "You little cocksuckers, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You have to make all that racket, you son of a bitch." And it was mainly directed at me. I feel like if you were alone, she probably wouldn't have been as aggressive.
She mostly left me alone.
She mostly left you alone.
Yeah.
But I would ask I would just simply be like, "Hey, where's my mom?" I would go into her. And her response every time was, "She went up the river on a crochet rowboat." Which, I mean, a rowboat that's crocheted, I'm assuming would sink. That's the idea, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So this woman was not very nice. This woman was extremely racist. She used to call me...
Just towards you.
Well, no, she didn't have to interact with other brown people. Mostly
towards you.
Mm. So by the time my grandma was in the hospital, I just didn't care anymore. I went for Anne-Marie because Anne-Marie loved her.
Yeah, no.
And I didn't want to be like a shitty...
Well, hence the rose was a surprising move for the rest of the family.
It was to everybody. Yes. Everyone was like, why?
Yeah,
she hated him.
Didn't even go to the funeral. This is... Okay.
What am I supposed to do? I don't want to go to funerals. How depressing is a funeral? My mother's lucky I went to her funeral. And my mother's funeral was depressing.
Oh my God, it was so depressing.
If you're poor, don't even have a funeral. Just get rid of the body somehow.
That's what we're doing. We're just cremating and we're putting us in one spot. Bianca can visit us all in one location right there.
You don't have to tell people that.
Well,
you don't have to tell people that you're burying you, my mother, my grandma Rose, and my grandma Jane all in the same plot.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's one-stop shopping. I don't think it's crazy.
I'm going to take their ashes and I'm going to put them in a bottle like at the carnival where you have all the different colored sands. And I'm going to have one urn where I have all of your ashes that I get to fucking have all together.
No, we don't want that.
Okay, so it's our grandma's birthday. All right, okay, that's great. All right. So where are we at now in society? What is the song of the week? Number one song in the country?
Love Will Never Do Without You, Janet Jackson.
I don't even know if I could sing that song.
What? That came up pretty quickly. I was like, all right, that was a good time.
I got to hear the song right now. I know Bobby said don't play it, but I'm playing it right now.
That's the first time I ever thought she was hot.
Janet Jackson.
Yes. Like, I remember that video coming out and being like, wow, she's a smoke show. She's pretty hot. Like, I never saw her like that before.
What's the song called?
Love Will Never Do Without You.
Love Will Never Do Without You. Love will never
like
do
Rhythm Nation and all that. Like, she was
you.
cute, but she wasn't like a smoke show. Like, she was smoking hot in this video.
What is that sound effect?
Lioness. Honey.
I don't remember this part of the song. Is this skipping?
Are you watching the video? I want you to see her. She's so hot in it.
I'll see her right now. Love will never do without you.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And this wasn't even like the music I was into, but it was fun. This is a good time.
Oh yeah, she was hot as fuck in this video.
Right? Yes.
Hell yeah, dude.
Right?
A little black and white, wearing the
Yes.
jeans. Also, you know what's funny? This look right here is what came back into style recently.
Yeah.
So she looks particularly hot.
Yeah. I mean, gorgeous. The whole video, like every move she makes, I'm like, wow.
The high-waisted jeans, that went out forever. God, the fucking late 90s ruled where the jeans were like, they were the hip hugger. Like you used to see the ass crack, the thong hanging out. It was just, the button would be buttoned right over the clit.
Yeah. Right,
that was the best era of jeans for women.
That was terrible. Well, for me, it was awful.
Hell yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Right. I don't hate it.
I'm not hating on this song. I don't really hate on Janet Jackson. I remember our Uncle Joe, my grandma Rose's brother. I remember one time he said very clearly during we were just watching TV. Maybe it was probably
MTV.
Maybe MTV, and he was like, you know what? She's really beautiful for an N-word.
Yeah.
He said that.
Do you know the story about him?
No, what's the story about him?
He was engaged. He's an old Italian. Like, these are old, like, right off the boat raised by those people. He was engaged to a girl who he thought was like a Sicilian, dark-skinned Sicilian. He went to go meet her family. Like, he was really in love with this girl. Yeah. Like,
Uncle
they were
Joe.
going to get married. Yeah.
Big Joe.
Big Joe. He went to go meet her family. I guess the dad was black. He left, never spoke to the girl again.
No.
Turned his back, never spoke another word to her again.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
So that is the foundation that my bloodline is built on.
That always broke my heart a little bit, that story.
For who? For him or her?
I don't know, both of them.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, right? Like he was raised, it wasn't even like his fault that he was so ignorant. Like he was just raised by these old school Italians that were just fucking, had it built into them.
Happen.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Janet Jackson.
They were very racist. My entire family, the whole Italian-Irish side of my family was very racist. And I was the only brown person at the holidays. So they really all took it out on me.
Yeah.
What was the number one movie in the country?
Home Alone.
Wow.
I know. I was excited for that one.
Okay, it's right after Christmas, January 23rd, 1991. When was the last episode of season 1? How long between episodes?
It was June 90. So this is just right after New Year's.
Okay, so this is 6 months later.
Yeah.
They said, all right, we're back for season 2. Let's go, baby boy. Okay.
Yeah.
So Home Alone, number one movie in the country. Wow.
Did you see it in theaters?
I don't think so.
Yeah, me either. I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I didn't see it in theaters. But that was it was almost like the fantasy. This is what happens when you're from an abused household. You're like, you fantasize about being left home alone.
Yes. Yes.
That was always like, wow, imagine what I would do. I mean, we didn't have a big giant mansion in Chicago. We would have been left to like a small Section 8 apartment without any food or
It's a
heat
lot
or
of cats.
electricity.
Or a phone or nothing. Just go to Anna's.
There was nothing in our home to play with. But either way, that was sort of the fantasy. I was being left home alone for as long as I could remember.
Oh, yeah. I remember our mother telling our grandmother, I was before kindergarten. It had to be before kindergarten because I would have been in school. And Anna was like, oh, we can't take her. Grandma has a job, so grandma can't watch her during the day.
What was grandma's job?
I don't know. She just had like a day job somewhere. And then our mother was like, oh, she can just lock the door. Like,
Yeah.
just leave her.
And then Marie and grandma were like, no.
Yeah, they were like, no, we won't be doing that.
It's pretty crazy. Like today I went to get coffee this morning and I was like, James, let's go get coffee. And he's like, I don't want to go. And for a second I was like, I can fucking leave this kid alone.
No.
I mean, I could leave him alone.
No.
He's fucking 8. He's fine. He's got a phone, 911, lock the doors, don't let anybody in. But you can't. The problem is he's too much of a pussy. I know for a fact, if I left, within 5 minutes, he would forgot that I went to get coffee.
Will be called.
He will call 911. He will tell them that he's
Dad's
being abused. Yes.
Where's my dad?
He's like, I don't know. There's usually a weird smell coming from the garage. Let me show you what he has in there. I'm going to come back to fucking Child Protective Services
Blowtorch
at my house.
sir.
But even like leaving my kid in the car when I go into 7-Eleven, I am tempted every time.
Lewis.
I'm tempted every time to do it. I don't.
There was a story where a woman did just that. The guys stole the car, shot the baby right in the back seat in the car seat.
They shot the baby?
Shot the baby.
There's another story that happened more recent. So let's reference more recent stories.
Okay.
Mother left the kid in the car.
Stop.
The guy stole the car, realized there was a baby in the back, came back, gave the baby to the mom, yelled at her for leaving the baby in the car, still took the car.
God bless him.
So look, it can go either way.
Well, I would just hate for it to go the wrong way.
I feel like if you steal a car, you jump in a car, right? It's like an Audi. People are trying to steal it. Okay, it's not a fixie guy car. It's a fucking Audi. Somebody jumps in, they see an 8-year-old. I mean, this kid's, he's shrieking now. He's screaming at the top of his lungs. At this
Disney
point, you are making a decision. Do you want to be a fucking child murderer or are you just a car thief? I feel like you have to have really bad luck to get a person that's like, you know what, I'm also stealing and killing this child.
A murderer coming to just grab a car to get away. Ooh, sorry, real quick. Is the whole production shut down because of that, Harrington?
Basically. just shut everything down. Yeah, all right, so you're saying, what if somebody's committed a murder and they're trying to steal a car in that moment? I mean, the
never
luck.
Ever risk it. Nope.
The luck.
Nope.
Would have to be really shitty in order for that to happen. Like you have the kid that is you happen to leave in front of that murderer.
Why risk it?
Yeah. The only reason I don't, if I had a shittier car, I would leave my son in the car every time I go into 7-Eleven.
No. What if they want the kid? What if they're watching you and they're
Who
like,
wants a fucking child?
The black web.
The black web?
The dark web.
World Star? What are you talking about? What are you talking about now?
The dark web.
Well, yeah.
Can we edit that out?
What?
Harrington, I'm not even joking.
What, the black web? Why would you edit out the black web? Because you're just stupid?
Racist, yes.
It's not. Why is it racist? I made it racist.
Okay.
Are you nervous about being canceled?
Yeah.
Did you not read the article on who you're sitting next to?
Yes. Oh my God, you're getting everybody canceled.
Oh shit. All right, so look, let's talk about this episode. Home Alone was a great movie. I did love it. I watch it. I watch it every season. We did not go
over. We have Sergeant Slaughter as our WWF champion. Just won it at the Royal Rumble.
Was he Muslim at this time, or was he?
Yes. Well, this was leading into WrestleMania 7.
I love the WWE in the 90s.
Dope back in the day.
They were just like, you know what? We have a war. This is going to be a perfect angle. We're going to make Sergeant Slaughter a turncoat, and we're going to make him an Iranian soldier.
He got a flag from Saddam Hussein.
Oh,
like after
directly.
Royal Rumble, directly from Saddam Hussein.
Directly from Saddam.
As a thank you. His nerve.
Yeah, they were awesome. They really went for it.
They went for it. That too, Sherry does a promo with the Ultimate Warrior where she basically, Warrior, I'll do anything, falls to her knees, anything. And the whole crowd's like, what the fuck?
She's going to suck the Warrior's dick.
And he's like spits and goes, no, stupid bitch. It's amazing.
I'm gay.
So look that up, guys. That's
Sensational
a good time.
Sherry was disgusting. She
was so pretty.
You thought she was pretty?
Yeah, look
Get the
back.
fuck-
Look
shut
back at
up.
pictures. Look back.
Maybe young, scary Sherry.
No.
Luna Vachon was under the radar hot.
I don't think she's as pretty as Sherry. I think Sherry classically has a prettier face. Like without
No,
makeup.
Sherry looked like Jersey trash.
No,
That's what she looked
I'm gonna
exactly
show you some
like.
pictures.
Okay, I'll love to see it.
Sunny was always
Sunny was a fucking smoke show. Sunny, it's disappointing because Sunny did porn later on in her life.
so bad.
It's disgusting.
It's just
It's like
awful.
a fucking mom
And
doing
it's so
porn.
sad because I think if she would have just done Playboy back in the day, like Sable
She
wouldn't
might
have taken
have.
over. No, they offered it to her and,
And she
said no.
That bitch was too uppity for her own good. Now she's doing an
Yep.
OnlyFans.
And
And
she fucked
just
every wrestler
showing
backstage and
her
had the
fucking
audacity
fat-
to say no. And I was like, what is wrong with you?
God damn it, Sonny, you fucked up.
Yeah, she fucked up
I mean,
hard.
I masturbated so viciously to Sonny. It was
I'm
crazy.
sure.
Oh my God, I loved her.
Everybody, yeah.
That's when I learned how to masturbate. That was through the years. It was
Ew.
like it was on clothed pictures of Sonny.
Gross.
Yeah. So
Her book, go read her book. It's fun.
it's written in crayons.
Basically, yeah.
All right. So season 1, episode 2, we open up with some stand up. He's talking about how he's always in traffic with a traffic lane expert. And there's always a guy who wants to switch lanes, come in front, go behind, go front. That's me all day long. I cannot stay in one lane. I'm always
you're
trying to
annoying.
fucking get ahead of this next guy. If there's a person on the left lane that's going slower than the people in the right lane, I will go right up to his bumper.
You're obnoxious.
If it is slightly dark out, I'll start flashing my lights at
You're
him
an
to
animal.
get the fuck out of the way. Why are you in the
Go
fast lane right
around.
now?
Oh, get over yourself.
I shouldn't have to pass on the right. That's the point of all this.
Well, no, I stay right in the middle. Leave me alone. Nobody bother me.
You ride the middle lane the whole
Yep.
time. Yeah. Is it illegal to ride the left lane?
Yeah, you're not supposed to. You're only supposed to be passing.
It says only pass on the left, right? But if like a cop's following you for a few miles and you don't pass and you're just riding in the fast lane, can they pull you over?
If a cop's behind me, that I just pull like to the side so they can get where they're going.
As soon as I see a cop, I have a feeling like I have murdered somebody and I have a murder weapon in my trunk. As soon as I see a cop behind me, I'm like, ugh, I start to shake. I start to hold the wheel.
That's what brown people feel. That's crazy.
That is exactly the way brown people feel about cops. I don't think white people, I think they see cops and they're like, thank God, justice is on the road. Thank God the cops are here right now. This is going to be so great.
I'm like, officer, you have to go. Get to where you're going.
Please, there's a child murderer stealing your car right now.
There.
Go and save that child, officer.
Yes.
For me, I immediately
pouring sweat.
Well, I start to go through my mind. It's like, how do I escape? Like, if the cop started to pull me over, what would I do? How would I get away? Could I outrun his cruiser?
That's never even occurred to me.
Yeah. It's a scary thing. Have you been arrested before?
No.
Never arrested.
Nope.
Ever been put in cuffs?
Nope.
Really? Shut up.
I'm just a law-abiding citizen.
I think she's lying.
I swear
think
to
she
God.
has been put in cuffs, and I think she
Never
doesn't
once.
want to let everyone on the show
I've
know.
never even been approached by a police officer.
Really?
Other than like a general being pulled over. Hey, have you been drinking? Like you were there for one of them.
Dude, we got pulled over one time. Me, Dave Smith, and my sister got pulled over one night, and she's just
Completely sober.
It was crazy. We were coming back from a concert. She was sober as a fucking judge. And she just is a bad driver. So she's swerving all over the roads. She's just tired.
It was late at night. We had a long day.
She's tired. She's swerving all over the roads. Cop pulls us over. Is like, have you had any drinks? And she's like, no, I swear to God. She got the hiccups at that exact moment. For no reason, she got the hiccups. I'm sorry, officer. And then they were like, she was such a bad driver that they were like, we don't believe that you're not drunk. And they pulled her out of the car.
No, they made me do the ABCs first.
Oh, yeah. They're like, do the ABCs. Was it backwards or was it just forwards?
It was like K through M or something like that. And I just remember Dave Smith's face right here, just like bracing, like, you got this, Jenny.
It was
You got
crazy.
this.
It was crazy. It wasn't backwards. It was forwards because it was fucking crazy.
No, it was forwards, but it was like...
wasn't K through M. They were like, say the ABCs. And you simply left out the letter K.
I left out a letter. Whatever.
Me and Dave both said we're like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, L, M, N, N, O, P. And me and Dave both looked at you like, what, are you fucking kidding me? The cops looked at us. They're like, is she serious? Like this one, nobody.
I didn't even know. I was like, what happened, guys? What?
It was bonkers. And we're like, me and Dave both like.
Dave was like, K, just K.
How do you miss a letter? It's nuts. So then they're like, miss, you got to get out of the car right now. Take the cards out of the ignition. And we're like, oh God, all right. So in my mind, I'm going, the truth is going to prevail here. No matter what, the truth will prevail because she's not actually drunk. She's not drunk driving. It's not a big deal. So they pull her out of the car and then they were like,
walk this line.
They were like, miss, just walk the straight line right here. No, first they were like, touch your nose, close your eyes. And she's missing. She's touching her forehead. She's touching her tits. She's touching her neck. They're like, walk a straight line.
Throw your head back and touch your nose. It's not as easy as it sounds.
Done. Did it.
It's not that
Done.
easy.
Look, ready? I shit you not. She failed 3 sobriety tests. They were like walking a straight line.
I kept tripping over the wall.
At one point, I was like, officer, listen to me. She's not drunk. I swear to you. Give her a breathalyzer test.
I said to them, I was like, please breathalyze me, please. I haven't drank since 3 o'clock.
An uncoordinated loser. That's what I told him. I had a level with him. I was like, do you know the kids we made fun of in high school for being uncoordinated and walking the track during gym? That's her. I was like, she's never tried to close her eyes and touch her face. That's never happened before. She doesn't play video games. She has she doesn't work on these, what do they call that? Fine motor skills.
Yes, I have no fine motor. Yes, I agree.
She has no fine motor skills.
I agree.
I feel like just in general, women shouldn't be able, they should be a harder test for women to get their license, to become a pilot, because women don't really have good fine motor skills. If you ever watch chicks play video games, there's a reason that they don't do very well. And it's the same skill that you would have in playing a video game that you would have of avoiding an accident on the road.
I don't disagree with that completely, but I think there are women out there who are great at that.
Sure, maybe. But yeah, then
I don't think you're particularly great at it. I think you drive like an idiot, so.
Well, the cop eventually just let her go, which was fine. Moving on to the show, Jerry and George are in their car. George is going through a breakup. He's dating a chick named Marlene. And apparently he told her that he loved her, which is kind of fucked up. I've done that before.
I'm sure you have.
Yeah. After a few months, it's almost like the expectation is set, where it's like, I love you. Do you love me back?
Okay, good.
Yeah. And then just sometimes if you're fucking a hot enough chick, like you just say it. You're like, oh, I love you. Wow.
According to my husband, it's just something you have to do to get girls sometimes.
You have to manipulate them.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever told a girl that I loved her when in the moment I didn't actually feel it. But a lot of times when you're pent up, when you got full balls, you'll say a lot of crazy shit. You mean different things. Your view on the world is definitely skewed. Have you ever
But you meant it every time.
I meant it.
Bullshit.
In the moment. In the moment, I'm like, oh, I fucking loved you, you hot bitch. Oh, God, I love you.
And just as soon as it's over.
And then as soon as you come, I'm like, oh, I hate you.
What was I thinking?
I hate this bitch. She's annoying.
Basically, George's situation right here.
Yeah, George fucked up. He tells her he's in love with her. He meets all of her friends, which is only going to get him deeper into the relationship. So he's sort of like, yeah, I got to break up with this chick. I don't know what to do. Jerry's like, yeah, you got to break up with her, this, that, the other. Elaine shows up, and what is going on? Turn your phone off, Jenny. What are you doing? For the love of God. Very unprofessional. Elaine shows up, and she wants to sit in the front seat, which I thought was a weird move. 3 adults in the front seat.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, that's just, nobody acts that way. She's like, I don't want to be left out of the conversation.
Yeah.
So also calls George homophobic because he doesn't want to sit next to Jerry. Mm-hmm. And then she said, what are you, homophobic? And George is just like, you think? So George is like, yes, I do not like gay people, which it's rare we see. This is one of these instances where they wouldn't have written that joke today.
No, certainly not. But I enjoyed it because I just liked how they addressed it and just kept it moving. Like, oh, what are you, homophobic? Like, okay, that's a characteristic you might have. I'll keep it moving. You're still my friend. It's still cool. We're all good.
And that's okay. You can be homophobic. Okay. You can be a likable homophobic character. That's all right. So Elaine proceeds to tell a story. Elaine has a lot of fucking stories. She's
a chick. That's why I feel like it's so good because she's such a chick. Like, I feel like she does so many like chick things where you're like, yes, Elaine, yes, I love her being a chick.
So she has a story where I guess she met this guy once and they walk along the same route every day, so they pass each other. Mm-hmm. So for a while they would say hello to each other. Then it turned into just a nod. Then it turned into a smile. Then it turned into they just stopped acknowledging each other. And now she was like, we have this burning hatred for each other now, which is kind of funny. For no reason she hates this guy.
I was going to say, have you ever experienced that?
No.
No?
No.
So if you see somebody, you say hi to them every single day, you're saying hi to them every single day.
Oh, there's a moment where you start to ignore them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you get there
I've experienced that, but I haven't experienced like a feeling
a dislike.
of yeah, like I dislike this person. It's just like at one point you go like, well, what are we doing here? There's people that I know that I just don't say hi to. Remember there was a guy, because you used to work at this comedy club, Levity Live in the mall, and there was a comedian that told you, you're like, yeah, your brother's kind of an asshole. Do you remember? It was a black comic.
I don't remember specifically.
But he was like, yeah, he doesn't even say hi. He ignores me when he sees me now, and he knows me. And that happens to me all the time. Like if I don't know somebody's name, what I do is like in my mind, I'm like, fuck, I don't know their name. And then I feel very embarrassed. So to counteract that embarrassment,
you just ignore them.
I ignore them.
Wow.
I don't make eye contact with them. I act like I don't see them. I did this to Bill Burr one time. And it's not because I didn't know his name. It was just because I was like, he probably doesn't know my name. This is,
like, I'm not going to embarrass him.
3-4 years ago. Well, I was like, I don't know. Should I be saying what's up to Bill Burr every time I see him? It's kind of like an awkward, like, I feel like famous people, everyone, they try. I watched this happen to Joe Rogan at the Comedy Store. He stands at the Comedy Store at the bar, and then slowly a ring of people start to surround him. Then another ring of people start to surround that ring of people. And then he's 3 people deep where everyone's just hanging on the words of Joe Rogan. And I'm sitting there watching. I was like, I'm not a fucking homosexual. I'm not going to stand around a man and listen to him pontificate. That's a fucking crazy way to live. So that's when I see famous people, even that I know casually, I don't want to like bug them. You know, and Bill Burr's big enough and famous enough that it was just an insecurity in my mind. I'm going like, does Bill even know who I am at this point? So we're just kind of like standing at the bar, and it was him right there and me right here. And I'm like ignoring him, and he goes, what, you're not going to say hi? I was like, oh, hey, what's going on, Bill?
It's so much more awkward. Just say hi.
I didn't know if he even knew who the fuck I was.
Yeah, but you read the room. Then it'll be like, oh, hey, dude.
Yeah. Well, so I understand that completely. So, yeah, they move on. They go back to Jerry's apartment. Kramer enters. My problem with Kramer so far, just an FYI, I don't think he's really written that well. Like every time he comes in, he's got a wacky thing to say.
Yes. That's Kramer. That's Kramer.
I don't like it.
I love it.
I don't like it.
I love it.
I don't love
Hilarious. Every time. The cantaloupe, so funny.
So this time he comes in and he's eating cantaloupe with a spoon.
Yeah.
And he's like, Jerry, you got to taste this cantaloupe. This is the best cantaloupe I've ever had in my entire life. And that's sort of his angle, which is sort of weird. I'm not a big cantaloupe guy.
Oh, Bianca loves it.
Does she?
Yeah.
James does not like it.
She'll eat a whole one.
He's
like,
not into a melon. Not into a melon. It. That's a very basic, your child would be into melon.
Oh, okay. Sorry, your son only picks star fruit straight from Jamaican islands.
Yeah, he needs like a pomegranate, some sort of exotic, fun alien fruit that you have to know how to eat.
No.
You know, Bianca's
ridiculous.
just like melon,
yes,
just shoving melon into her mouth.
Watermelon loves it all day.
Yeah, very, very basic. My son, he's a highfalutin fruit eater.
Yeah.
A kiwi.
We're aware.
A kiwi is a good one.
Yeah.
How do you eat a kiwi?
I don't eat kiwis.
You used to love kiwis.
I never loved you, and your dumb mother loved kiwis. You used to eat them together.
You used to love kiwi strawberry Snapple.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that. It was not healthy. I take it all back.
Let's see where that went.
You love cupcakes. Never mind.
Yes, I was not a fan of kiwi. No.
You know how I ate a kiwi? I learned this. Sorry, you listen to all my podcasts. My sister's a fan of all my work. She tries to act like she's too cool for school.
I'm such a fan. You have no idea.
Fan of my work.
I'm such a fan.
You cut the kiwi in half. Also, sometimes when I ask you a question, this is what you do on the podcast. You answer the question. I'm just asking it to sort of set myself up to talk.
Oh, okay.
Just so you know. I just want you to know. You just let me have that. I'm like, do you know what happened? You're like, yes, it was your birthday. Let me it's the way that I speak. I'm setting myself up to give a reveal. So you sort of flat tire me every time I go give a reveal of something.
You're welcome.
I learned the way to eat a kiwi with a spoon. Well, fuck what I was just going to
fuck. With a spoon, not like an idiot.
I was going to give a whole speech about eating a kiwi with a spoon.
Of course.
But never mind.
Yep.
No, you cut that shit in half, you take a spoon, boom, you eat it right like that.
Boom, just like that. Do you know how to cut a avocado?
What do you mean?
Do you know the real way to cut an avocado? How do you cut an avocado?
How do I cut an avocado?
We digress.
I slice it down the middle. I take the knife, I carve it around so it cuts directly in half, right? One side comes off, The pit's on the other side. Now the pit actually keeps it from browning. So if you're only gonna use half the avocado, leave the pit in there. Okay. Beyond that, I'll slice it long ways, slice it like 4 or 5 times. Then I cut it sideways 4 or 5 times so it creates like a checkerboard effect. I spoon everything out and have these little avocado chunks.
Hell yeah. There you go. That's how you do it.
Is that how you do it?
That's how you do it.
Now you know how I feel for flat tiring your story. How does it feel?
We'll just move on from here.
All right. So, yeah, Kramer wants him to try this cantaloupe. Jerry finally says, yes, I'll eat the cantaloupe. It's delicious. Kramer wants him to go to his supermarket, but Jerry does not want to use that supermarket because it's 3 blocks further. That's a very New York City thing.
I was gonna say, yeah. You could probably relate.
Your gym is the closest gym to you. You're not traveling for your fucking gym. You want to be able to go there, go in, go out. Your supermarket.
That's like the only tempting part of like living in the city. I feel like you can just run to the gym. You don't have to get in the car or anything. Just go.
Well, yeah, New York City is very vertical. So within a few blocks, within a walk, you could probably have everything. You have your doctor, your dentist, your supermarket, your gym, your fucking personal trainer, the park, whatever it is.
Yeah.
When you leave the city, it's very, very spread out. So I will just go to the supermarket that I want to go to now.
Yeah.
And the supermarket that I want to go to
is really far.
The ghetto ass ShopRite.
Oh, that's one you want to go to?
I go to it every time.
Oh my God.
I feel like a king amongst the Browns.
I try to GPS somewhere else and it just always takes me back there. I'm like, why do you keep taking me
I went to another shop. I went to the one in Paramus. It was pretty decent. Yeah, a little more white.
I went to the Trader Joe's. That was not great.
Oh, shit. We didn't give how many bagels we're giving this episode up top. Or do you want to do it at the end?
We'll end with it. We'll end with our bagel reveal.
Okay. So, yeah, Jerry doesn't want to go there. George enters. He broke up, and we find out the girl's name Marlene at this point. Now, when I see George, I'm assuming he's just dating a fucking you. I assume that you would be George's girlfriend.
You think he can get someone as hot as me? I probably wouldn't get with George.
No.
No, I'd probably turn him down.
Yeah, but George, I'll tell you right now, Marlene.
Smoke show.
Best so far. Best in show so far. Is she a famous actress? Look that up, Harrington. She must have been.
She's gorgeous.
A little bit of an older chick. Fucking hot, though. Sexy. She got that
accent, I don't know if it was real or not. Was it real?
Goofy ass Southern accent. Don't love it.
You didn't love it.
I do not like a Southern accent on a chick. They sound like simpletons.
No, it's hot. I thought it was hot.
Y'all. It wasn't good.
It's different.
Yeah, not my thing. So
I'm surprised like New York City Jews were into it.
Yeah, maybe. So he tells a story about how he broke up with Marlene. She started crying. I personally can't deal with a female crying.
Yeah, I know.
Why? What do you say that?
Because you're such a sociopath that I feel like you look at a woman crying like there's an alien standing before you that you don't understand, and you're just looking at it like what is happening?
Where does this come from?
Like, can we talk? Like, what is happening? I can't talk to you like this.
Where does this come from? This perspective on me.
Anytime you've seen me crying, that's how I felt.
Oh, with you?
Yes.
Well, you're a different story.
No.
Yeah, because in my mind, I'm like, I know the sadness isn't even about what we're talking about. It's like years of fucking depravity and just being abused and just being sad and shy and antisocial. And then it all comes to a head. And then you're like, fucking, the bong is clogged and you start crying and I got to deal with that.
Yeah, and you look at me like I have 3 heads instead of being like, come here, sister, let's solve this problem.
I had a moment with you where I hugged you.
It's like, you're like, fuck off. And I'm like, no, fuck you harder.
I have, Jenny, sorry, my standards for who you should be are very high.
Ugh.
You're a Gomez.
They're so high.
You're a Gomez.
Exhausting.
You need to fucking, hold your head a little bit higher.
Hell yeah.
That's what I say.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So. Soap star. Yeah, she was hot.
What soap opera? Which soap opera? Wow.
Days. I still know people from Days of Our
Anna
Lives.
still watches it to this day.
Soap operas are horrible. I didn't realize how bad they were until I was an adult.
Awful.
It is just the goddamn worst. But Days of Our Lives, I used to just watch sort of peripherally in the background, and I was in love with Billy from Days of Our Lives.
Oh, Billy. Yeah, she was there for a minute.
Krista Lee Allen. Wow. I mean, just back when she came out, she was absolutely the hottest chick on TV. They gave her own Showtime show for a little while.
Did they?
It was about her being a former. It was like almost like a true.
Oh, okay, like former star.
She was a former. She was a former soap star, and she was like doing acting things still. It was almost like how they made Joey
I didn't watch that.
into its own thing.
There was one with Lisa Kudrow that was like that, where she was like a former actress or something.
Who was that?
No.
No, that's not Billy. That's the fucking other. Are you out of your fucking
Same
mind,
Billy,
Harrington?
Days of Our Lives.
Billy, Days of Our Lives.
She was also in Liar Liar.
Yeah, she was the chick in the elevator in Liar Liar where he was like, have a nice boob day.
I remember because Lewis used to get super horny and have to leave the room.
Oh, God, she was so hot. She was so hot. When I first started being into chicks, that was the look of the chick that I liked. A big-titted, fucking perfect bodied,
That's
gorgeous.
why when you say your first crush is Halle Berry, I'm always surprised by that.
Why?
Because she wasn't your type. Like, I feel like Billy wouldn't be too surprising for me. Pam Anderson wouldn't be too surprising for me.
Maybe Pam Anderson might have been my first crush because I got to think the timing
Remember your Barbie twins poster?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My mother was an animal. I was maybe 2 years older than James when I got that Barbie twins poster.
No, you were way older.
No fucking way. I was maybe 10 years old. I got another poster when I was maybe 9 years old that it was. So I've told the story about how my neighbor died and I made a garage sale with all of his belongings.
No.
Me and Nick Giacoli, we
joined forces for a day?
We joined forces for a day and we made like $70 on a yard sale.
Wow.
My mother was at work, leaving me alone when I was like 8 or 9. And our neighbor died. So his family just was putting out his furniture and belongings because they weren't going to take it. It was just junk. So me and Nick Giacoli went and we moved everything from their yard to my front yard and we sold everything. And one of the things that didn't sell, and I was so happy because I wanted it, was a poster. It was like one of those, it would be in my garage right now. It's like 4 hot chicks wearing bikinis, like all different color bikinis, but you don't see their faces. It's just from behind. And you see their pussy lips hanging down in between their like butt cheeks.
Jean shorts.
No, they're wearing bikinis, but you see like the thick meatiness of these whores, these absolute whores. I mean, it was just the most, this poster was so inappropriate, like so fucking inappropriate. They look like ball bags hanging out of these chicks.
Ugh.
They were such big pussy lips. But my mother let me get from Spencer's Gifts a Barbie twins poster. And the Barbie twins were they were porn stars that weren't porn stars.
Yeah.
Big fake titties. They were in
They were Playboy
bunch.
Girls. Like, they just fucking flash their tits.
Before the internet was a thing, like you could just be hot chicks who showed your tits sometimes in a magazine and you had a career. That's crazy. These chicks would have to be.
It's so much better now.
These chicks would have to be eating each other out on an OnlyFans in order to make money now. There's no. Where are the Barbie twins now, Harrington? Are they out there? It's fucking old bitches.
I bet they hang out at the Playboy Mansion still. I bet there's a picture of them within the last 10 years of them at the Playboy Mansion.
Maybe. R.I.P. What's his name?
Hugh Hefner.
Hustler. Larry Flint.
Larry Flint.
Or Larry Flint died.
Today?
Like yesterday.
Whoa, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thought he was dead years ago.
Yeah, I thought he's been dead.
Thought he has been dead.
Been dead.
I grieved years ago for Larry Flint. So, what are you going to do?
No.
So, okay. Jerry and George. Yeah, George. Oh, he has one small problem. George left books at her apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So George doesn't want to leave the books. He asked Jerry to go get the books for him, which is, I completely get Jerry's. I don't always agree with Jerry. I look at the world through a different set of eyes than Jerry Seinfeld does. But Jerry's like, why do you have the books? What's the point? You read the books. You're not going to read them again. They're not going to end differently. Why do people keep books? I don't get it.
I have them. I like to read them again.
Do you read books again?
I knew this was going to be a conversation. Yes.
What a loser.
Yes.
What a dork you are.
I will read an entire series of books again. Yes.
There's a handful of books that I've read more than once, but they're not, they're self-help books,
but if you spent
sales books.
If you spent money on the book, you don't want to keep it. You don't want to have like a night, like Guillermo can't, like every time we pack something up, he can't wrap his head around my box of books. And I'm like, I'm going to get a nice bookshelf and I'm going to put these books on it. Like that is my goal. And he cannot wrap his head around it. He was like, why do you need these books?
I have 2 boxes of books because I just moved. So I know I had 2 boxes. It was the heaviest boxes in my move.
He hates it. Every time he sees the box of books.
It's crazy. For no reason, I have these books, and they're sitting underneath my TV. The shelves underneath my TV are filled with books. I'll never look at these books again. I've read the Steve Jobs biography twice. I've read How to Win Friends and Influence People probably 5 or 6 times. I've read The 48 Laws of Power maybe 3 times. But now I just listen to the audiobook versions.
But you don't feel like you spent the money on these books, you don't want to keep them?
No. I feel like if you buy a book, it's your job after you're done reading that book to give it away to a friend to
I
enjoy.
agree with that too. I'll keep them, and then if I see a friend who looks like they need a book or something, I'll grab one from my shelf and say, "Here you go."
How bored does your friend look? If I have a friend in a coma and I'm like, you know what,
They
we
don't
gotta
have a phone,
really
their legs don't work.
get this person fucking up out of bed today. We're gonna give you a brand new book. It's yeah, I mean, I'm not a massive reader. Ever since I started driving, I've been listening to more audiobooks, which I just appreciate the format more. I used to read books when I would be on the subway. So when I first moved to New York City, up until maybe 5 or 6 years ago, there wasn't Wi-Fi on the subways. So once you were down in the subways, you couldn't get cell phone service. Maybe 5, 6 years ago is when they started making it available at almost every stop. So I would read newspapers, magazines, books all the time. But as soon as I stopped having that dead time where I couldn't have my cell phone to look at, I've never had the inclination.
You don't miss it though? Like you don't like to go to the beach with a book and just lay down and read? I mean, if you didn't have a kid to watch?
No, I would put my audiobook on and just close my eyes and let, somebody else do the reading for me.
Okay.
Have you ever tried an audiobook?
Yeah. Fine. I don't not enjoy it.
I feel like you're a big podcast fan, so an audiobook is just a much better produced podcast.
No.
Okay. So Jerry agrees to go get these books. Next scene is him and Marlene at the diner. This is where we unveil what Marlene looks like. And she's gorgeous. I know Bobby Hutch put it up on the behind us on the green screen. She's fucking gorgeous. Show her and other things. If we ever naked, please.
George did
send me
not
the
deserve
pictures.
her.
No, the fact that George is with this
Jerry
shit.
could pull her. Jerry, I would believe. George, not so much.
Well, Jerry has a different thing. Jerry has a superpower. Like even physically, Jerry's a more attractive man than George physically, even just on a baseline level. But Jerry's also a goofy faced Jew.
Yeah.
He's got big lips, big gums, big teeth. He looks like a real New York Jew. George, short,
Also.
fat, bald. The only thing Jerry really has is
New York Jew.
he's just in better shape. It's a better aesthetic. It's a taller guy.
He's taller. That's huge.
Is his face actually more handsome than George's though?
Yeah, and he's not balding. George is balding.
What's the problem with that?
It's not as hot as not being balding.
What if George shaved his head completely like The Rock and got in shape?
No, because he's too short. Because now you're like a little short, bald-headed guy like down there.
It's not good.
You're like, that's cute for you.
It's not good.
You need a little petite lady down there, sir.
But I mean, how would George even get at this shit?
Like this chick was too like tall and beautiful and just like
she was striking too. When she came on the screen, I was like, I stopped paying attention for a second. I was like, that's not Marlene. There's no way. And then she said her name, and I was like, oh my god, there's no way. George would not get a chick that hot. It was a little bit of a weird casting, but whatever. It's fantasy world. It's Hollywood.
Yeah, it's
so Marlene is talking to Jerry, and she's having a great time with him. And she's like, Jerry, there's no reason we shouldn't stay friends, even though me and George broke up.
Yep.
And Jerry's like, what? Fine, let's do it.
And
what
does she want to do?
He sort of has this conundrum because she wants to hang out with himself. So the next scene, Jerry and George are at the chiropractor. Marlene keeps calling Jerry. Oh yeah, so he's telling George that now that they're friends, he's complaining to George. She always calls him. They have long conversations.
She's a woman.
Yeah, it's a little bit too much. Do you ever talk on the phone with people anymore?
No, I hate it.
Really?
Yeah, that's crazy.
See,
You talk on the phone all the time.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I'm not a texter. What happens is by the time I start writing out my second text, I start to get physically angry at whoever I'm texting. I'm like, why am I fucking doing this? Then I call. Usually a phone call for me starts off with 2 or 3 texts and somebody there's a typo in one, and then I get frustrated and then I call right away and I'm like, I can say everything I was going to say
in 4 seconds, and then you don't even say goodbye. It's just a click.
Yeah. When Jay brings that up, do you connect with that?
Yes. Oh my god, I connect so hard. Jay, if you're out there, it drives me insane. But here's what you do: you hang up on him first, so he'll be like, "All right, Jenny, come here for it." Blah blah blah, and I go, "Okay, click." And that's it. So I do it first.
So yeah, she talks on the phone. I'm not a phone talker. I wasn't for a while. I used to be a phone talker. Then I turned into a texter. Then I turned back into a phone talker because I was like, texting is stupid. This is just retarded.
I don't like texting either. Like most of my friends know, don't text me or call me.
Now I am a FaceTimer.
Yes.
I'm a FaceTimer.
Yes.
I like to FaceTime. I like to look directly
Why
in the
is
eyes
that?
of the person that
Why?
I'm speaking to. I remember when Back to the Future came out and they had the big screens up and they were
Yeah.
talking on it, like Back to the Future 2, I guess. I remember thinking, there's nobody's going to ever want this technology. What would be the fucking reason to do this? And something happened recently in the past few months. I've become a FaceTimer.
Yeah, you're going to FaceTime.
You want to know why I think it is?
Why?
It's because I don't have to hold the phone to my ear. So this right here, you're almost start to get tired if you're talking for a while.
Oh my God.
Can't do anything. If I'm doing like this, I can do this. I could be talking, blah, 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 blah. Some other things, maybe pull up something while I'm talking, reference what I'm saying. If I need to look up something and prove somebody wrong, I have it right at my fingertips. Or I can put the phone down right here and we're talking. I'm like, oh, let me just do what I got to do while I'm talking to you. I'm still working. It's about sort of being efficient.
Have you seen the movie WALL-E?
No.
That's basically what happens to humanity is they start living their life like through that screen, doing 5 other things at once instead of just focusing and sitting down and having the conversation.
You don't need to bring up WALL-E. You can just talk about society. That's what's going on.
Well, that was like the movie. It was like really a reflection. It's actually a really good movie. You should watch it.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it with
Yeah,
James. It sounds like a great movie.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's what happened. I became a FaceTimer because of efficiency of time. When you're on the phone, you can get all your messages out, get everything out you need to do, but you can't actually do any other work. When you're on the phone, it's like this weird focus on the audio. You can't really get anything else done. If I'm talking to you on FaceTime, I could be writing something, I could be cooking, I could be doing a million little things while I'm talking to you. So I get to be more efficient with my time, even though it seems less efficient on the surface.
Mm-hmm.
So they're at the chiropractor, or no, I guess. Okay, so this is my first minorities that I saw, Minority Report. The next scene is it's Jerry's stand-up.
Yeah, that was the only minority I saw.
An Asian and a black.
Oh, I never count the Asians.
An Asian and a black in the room watching his
I
stand-up.
saw the black guy. I didn't see the Asian.
His joke is about how you go to a waiting room, and then they bring you from the waiting room into the next room, which is another waiting room. And that's his whole bit, which is cute. It's fine. They're back at the chiropractor. George is pissed off because he spent $75 in 2 minutes. He's like, he didn't do anything. And Jerry's like, it's the first time. You got to come in. You got to build a rapport. And George puts his foot down and he says, I'm only paying half.
How do you feel about this?
I always side with small businesses.
Really?
Yeah, you can't pay half.
I was going to say I could see your mother immediately being like, yes, I will give you half because you did nothing.
No.
I could 100% see her saying, I thought you were going to say that.
No, I feel like the business set their price. He took the services. You can't, in retrospect, say, you know what, I'm not happy about that. It wasn't even like I wasn't happy with the service. I wasn't happy with the length of the service. That's a crazy way to be. You got to pay for it.
I agree. He should have, but I thought you might disagree.
So next scene, Jerry and Marlene are in Jerry's car and they had just made out. He crosses the line.
Everyone's all hot and bothered.
Well, hot and bothered. He can't, you could tell that he feels bad about it, but people kiss.
Yeah.
That's it. People kiss sometimes. Do you
They
think
did
that Jerry disrespected George by hooking up with his
Yes,
ex-chick?
Absolutely, yes.
Really?
Yes.
How should he have handled that?
I think well, I guess they did have the conversation and George was okay with it. He was like, okay.
I mean, he didn't fuck her. He just made out with her.
I know, but
If he had fucked her, all right. There's a few factors here. How long did Marlene and George date for?
that's true.
So if Marlene was a casual partner of George's,
That's kind of what I was taking away from it. That they were very casual.
they were casual. If they dated for a month or two, he did tell her he loved her. But he also vented to Jerry that he didn't really love her, that he was complaining about her. She was annoying. He didn't want to be with her anymore.
Do you think George was sincere when he told him to go for it? Because I was half on the fence. I wasn't sure how sincere he was about it.
Well, I think back to when George freaked out about the apartment, about how he wanted the apartment that Jerry was going to take. And it didn't seem very much like George to not care. I did not take it that George was being sincere. I don't think they would have written him to be subconsciously insincere about it. But knowing who George is at this point, I'm assuming it would have actually bothered George a little bit.
Okay.
And it's just because you don't, and I get it as well, you don't want somebody else having
what you had.
What you had, you know what I'm saying? And I completely get it. I mean, look, I'm fucking the chick that I'm dating now dated one of my friends for years.
Yeah.
So I personally have dealt with this scenario kind of recently. And yeah, I didn't call him first. I didn't call him up and ask him. But there was a couple things there.
But it also depends how close you are. Because I mean,
we're pretty close.
Not Jerry and George close. I wouldn't.
No.
Consider.
Not Jerry and George close, but we were close enough that I felt that I should have a conversation with him about it.
Absolutely.
Because me and this chick, we started going out. We hung out a couple times, and then out of nowhere, we were just like really into it. We were really into each other. And at that point, it was too late. Like initially, I asked her out, and I didn't even think she was going to say yes. We just went out to dinner, had like an incredible conversation, incredible dinner. And then it was like, fuck, I actually really like this chick. I'm like, you only fucking live once. I'm 39 years old, or I'll be 39 soon. I got a fucking kid. I got, you know. So when you connect with somebody, it's rare that I even connect with somebody. Like in my head, I was like, I will never connect with anybody again. Like I just have a cynical look on like love and relationships. So at that point, I was like, fuck, I got to have a conversation with this guy. But they had broken up 5 years before. So I think enough time had passed. So there's a few factors.
Yes.
How long did they date? How serious was the relationship? How much time has passed? George, I mean, his cum was still inside of this girl when she was hanging out with Jerry. There was no time.
What were the terms of their breakup? That's another thing too you have to consider.
Yeah, of course. So you thought Jerry should have went to George first.
As close as they are as friends, yes.
Yeah. See, in the hood, George would have beat Jerry's ass.
In the hood, that wouldn't happen. I remember your mother.
Actually, in the hood, they just pass around chicks.
That's
like
not true. Your mother used to say that. Your mother used to say white boys pass the same chick around. White boys will all bang the same chick in the same group.
That is
I feel like in the hood, like if I had like a black dude who liked me, I feel like they would like like all their boys would be like, oh, you know, so and so cool. You should hang out with him. He's such a good guy. Like they're like building him up for me. They're not all trying to fuck me.
Right.
They're all kind of like trying to build their boy up and make me see. So it's just.
I mean, look, I don't think Jerry was looking for it.
No, I agree.
It just happened.
I don't think it was that wrong.
To this chick. He was attracted to this chick. They made out. The makeouts. Jerry probably should have went to George first and got his blessing, but it happened. It is what it is. Jerry doesn't take it any further, and he does tell George about it. You know, even before that gets there, though. So okay, let's back up a little bit. They're back in Jerry's apartment, and Kramer is showing Jerry his golf swings. Have you ever played golf?
Mario Golf.
The answer is no.
I don't do your rich man sports, Lewis. I don't go skiing. I don't play golf.
I don't do rich man sports either.
You play golf?
No, I've never played golf. What I've done is I went to Top Golf.
The hell is Top Golf? Okay,
so Top Golf is essentially a driving range, but they've created their own game. So when it's almost like it's bowling meets golf. So you're scoring points on how accurate and how many targets you can sort of hit. The balls drop into these things, and that's how they keep score. So I'll be playing against you, and we're trying to, drive the ball further and landing in different score things. And I realize exactly how bad I am at golf, playing Top Golf.
I think Mario Golf seems more like golf than that seems like golf.
You think so?
I think so. I think the watchers should spam your Instagram and let him know Mario Golf. Mario Golf is way closer to golf than whatever the hell that was.
No, it isn't. This is
than your bowling golf.
This is the physical mechanics of golf.
So is Mario Golf.
No, it's not. The physical mechanics are you moving your thumbs fractions of a centimeter.
Not the Wii golf. Not Wii golf. You stood up and did it, and like there'd be like undulations in the ground and stuff. It was cool.
I never played Wii golf, but I bet you maybe I'll download golf for my
I bet it's fun on there.
Oculus. I bet you it's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
The ping pong on Oculus is damn accurate.
Is it?
Like you feel like you're playing ping pong.
Like Mario Golf at the time felt pretty accurate, but I bet that's really accurate.
Yes, I bet you that but it's still not as accurate as playing Top Golf. Top Golf is the sport of golf. The difference is there's no putting. So you're just driving over and over and over again. Driving a golf ball
but
is
putting is hard too. Putting is half of the art of golf.
Jenny, stop trying to convince me that Mario Golf is more close to golf than fucking Top Golf. Just stop, please. Don't die on this hill. Let's move on. For the love of God. Top Golf is fun. I'll take you to play Top Golf sometime. We'll bring the kids to play Top Golf.
Fine.
Harrington, I bet you play Top Golf a bunch. You fucking dork. Oh, I bet you love it.
I think you're a loser.
Top Golf.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, okay. So Marlene calls Jerry while he's talking to Kramer, and Jerry's starting to feel really bad. And he's verbalizing to Kramer. It's like, yeah, I feel bad. It's just like, but she's got this psychosexual hold over me. That's what he said. So.
And I was like, you could definitely relate to that.
What?
Psychosexual holds over you.
What do you mean?
Girls have never had like a psychosexual hold. Like, you just wanted it so bad you had to get it.
Yeah, every morning when I wake up, if there's any woman within fucking eyesight of me, she has a psychosexual hold over me.
Wow,
Welcome
really?
to being a man.
Whoa.
Yeah. I mean, being a man is...
It's way more aggressive than I thought.
It's torture. It is torture. And an attractive woman, you know how much it hurts to talk to attractive women sometimes and to not take them and bring them into your cave against their will? Do you know, like,
by their hair?
The urge that I have, the deep down fucking subhuman caveman urge that I have.
It's dangerous out there.
I just want to find a big club and fucking hunt for women at all times. Whew. And I have to fight that instinct of mine every single fucking day. Welcome to being a man.
You're a better man for it. Good for you.
Yeah. So I do completely understand that. Elaine comes in. She's complaining about the elevators being slow. And then she also has a follow-up on the hello guy. So I guess they passed each other and she went up to him and she tapped him on the shoulder and be like, hi, like a fucking crazy bitch. She's crazy. By the way, the more I find out about Elaine, the more I find out that she's a crazy, insecure bitch, and it makes my dick move that much more.
She does some wild things, yeah.
Yeah, she's got problems. She's a wacky chick. So she confronts this guy and he's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. We just don't have to say hi to each other anymore. And she's like, I just want you to know that I am aware. It's just sort of crazy. And Jerry calls her the queen of confrontation, which I appreciate. And in that moment, he's like, you know what? I got to stop being such a pussy. I got to call George. You've inspired me to call George. And that's when he calls George to let him know that he hasn't been fucking her yet. He wants to fuck her. He wants to fuck Marlene. They're in the diner. And he brings it to George's attention that he has this attraction towards Marlene. And George, surprisingly, is like, I don't care. It feels like there's a weight off my chest. It's great. Also, Minority Report, 2 blacks in the diner.
I did not see that.
In the far corner in the diner. 2 more blacks.
I did not see it.
Next scene, and we're coming close to the end of the episode here. Next scene, Jerry and Marlene are in the car. And Jerry has the moment, and I've had this moment. I've had it recently with the chick that I'm dating because we didn't like hook up right away. We just like went on a few dates and like made out. And there's the moment where you're like, all right, I'm going to ask her to come up. I'm going to ask her. Yeah, I don't want to make out in the car anymore. I don't want to make out in a stairwell anymore. Let's go upstairs and hang out. And he asks her, he works up the courage. He's like, hey, do you want to come up? And she's like, sorry, Jerry, I can't. I can't come up. And he's like, what? It's going great. And the reason... Nobody else will understand this.
I was going to say, you can totally relate.
Nobody else will understand this unless you're a comedian. How brutal this was. The reason she didn't want to come up, and she's like, you know what? It's Tuesday. He's like, what happened Tuesday? She's like, I watched your act. And I was like, what's the problem with my act? And she says, and I quote, she was like, there was too much fluff. So she wanted to fuck Jerry. She's attracted to him, but the camel that broke the straw that broke the camel's back was the fact that she did not like his comedy, which is a fucking nightmare. But I completely get this. She said, if I don't respect what you're doing, I can't be with you if I don't respect what you do. Which is crazy. This is why when I see women fucking Harrington, I'm like, how is it possible? How is it possible? He gets hot babes too, right? I'm going to say hot babes. Yeah, he's had a couple surprisingly cute chicks.
Yeah.
Very well.
And my
his ego's really out of control.
But in my mind, I'm going like, he's like 3 levels below me in the hierarchy of Gas Digital. How is it possible that any woman would want to fuck that? And I'm not hating Harrington at all. I'm just being honest. Like, if I'm a woman, I'd look at you and I'd be like, he's like, a producer for a producer on a podcast network. Was homeless a couple months ago. He's sort of everybody's whipping boy.
I bet he's got a big sausage.
Harrington, no.
I bet he does.
Harrington has an okay dick. We've compared dicks before.
Yeah?
Yeah. He's got an okay dick.
I was going to say maybe
He
that's
doesn't
what it
have
was.
he doesn't
I was
have big
pulling
dick
him in.
energy. He doesn't got a lot of money. He's got
But he pulls hot babes. Good for you.
he's pulled some cute chicks.
Hell yeah, dude.
I think back in the day when I would sell comedy club tickets and I would fuck hot chicks. I'm like, how would she spread her legs for me? I don't get how she's like this dirty dicked Puerto Rican who just tried to sell her comedy club tickets on the street.
Yeah.
I'm all scuzzy. I haven't changed my pants in a week.
Could you marry that girl?
Which girl?
That girl who's like ready to go? Or are you like, what is wrong with you? Like, why would you be with this guy?
No, at the time you sort of like, yeah, it's great to get laid. You remember you have that poison inside of you. You have to get it out.
Oh.
You have that instinct to take this woman. And once you take her, you're like, what is wrong with you, bitch? Why would you? I think when Beatrice was with me, when we first got together, I think about where I was at in my life and what a catch she was.
Yeah.
It's like, why would you do that? I don't care. Why would you let me impregnate you? Where I was at in my life. Now, look, the plan worked out and I was right. In retrospect, she was wrong. She should be kicking herself in the ass right now. I got to be honest with you. I was right. I had a vision. I saw it through and I'm doing okay now. But at the time when I got her pregnant, she just let me come inside of her.
Love.
That's crazy.
That's love.
That is love.
That's
It's
young,
unconditional.
dumb love.
If I was a woman, I would only be interested in extremely wealthy, successful, hot
If I
men.
was a hot chick, I mean, yeah. Hot, wealthy men.
If I was any woman. If I was any woman.
Is anyone not me? Yes.
God damn it. So she says, I don't respect what you do. If I don't respect what you do, I can't be with you. And that is like 100% true. I watch guys that are not good at comedy get chicks. And I was like, how is a woman attracted to this guy enough to be with him when he's failing at what he wants to do? The thing that's like defining him the most, he's like a fucking failure. It's like being with an MMA fighter, but he's got a losing record and he never wins. And like, he's just going after getting his ass kicked every time. You'd be like, the hotness of you being an MMA fighter is completely lost on the fact that you're a loser.
I mean, I guess so. I guess you're still a hot MMA fighter, though.
Yeah.
Still like a hot, ripped up dude. Hell yeah.
Yeah, but he's still trying to be great and failing. And it's a constant reminder of that failure.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
So, yeah, the show.
So she's right, basically, is what you're taking away. She's
Yeah,
like,
100%
yes.
she's right. If she does not respect his act, now she's wrong because it's Jerry Seinfeld. He's a world famous comedian. You know, he's on his way to becoming this massive star, I'm assuming, in the show. There has to be somewhat of a trajectory of
I like when she was like, it's just not my humor, Jerry.
Yeah. She was not into it. And then he ends the show with some more stand-up, and he made a very astute point. Women need to like the job of the guy that they're with, whereas men don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Because that's like an attractive quality. If you're with a man, it's not just the physicality. I think women look way past the physicality all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're attracted to the way he acts, the way he holds himself, the way he,
Absolutely.
how successful he is, or how much he works, or how cocksure he is. Confidence, right.
That's all it is confidence, really.
Whereas men don't give a fuck about confidence. In fact, when I meet a confident woman, I'm like,
you're like, why are you
calm
so
the fuck down,
confident?
you uppity bitch. I was like, where does this confidence come from? You're a fucking woman. You've had your life so much easier. So much easier. Hold on, I make fire. But where does a woman's confidence even come from?
Not giving a fuck.
It's crazy. Like for me, in order for me to be confident in my life, I had to go from being an absolute nothing to owning multiple businesses, becoming a stand-up comedian, having successful podcasts, having nice things, having the greatest kid on earth. And just in the past year or so, I stopped thinking that I should kill myself because of what a fucking loser I am. Just in the past year or two.
Good for you.
The uphill battle that it was to get the confidence to feel that way was fucking crazy. And women just come out that way.
Yeah.
There's like,
Just
I'm the
gotta not
shit.
care. Who
I'm
cares?
great.
It's true, yeah.
God bless you.
And the older you get, the less you give a shit too. Yeah.
All right. Let's give our bagels. How many bagels you give this
I
one?
gave it 2 bagels. I didn't love it.
Didn't love it?
Didn't love it.
I give it 3 full bagels.
3 bagels.
3 bagels. I thought it was a solid
You
opening.
thought it was as good as last week.
Better. I did not love the finale.
Wow.
I did not love the
I
finale.
thought the finale was so
I didn't
funny.
love the season 1 or the season 2 premiere, but I didn't hate it. It was funny. It had its quirky moments. Kramer was definitely funny in this. I thought Elaine was the funniest she's been so far.
Yeah.
In this episode. I think that Jerry's stand-up, it's connecting a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And the chick was pretty hot. It was overall a pretty solid episode. It was engaging. I find myself watching the episode and then it ends very abruptly. And I don't know if it's because it's written that way or if it's because I'm enjoying it and not really paying attention to the time.
Yeah. I don't know. A little bit of both.
But yeah, it was a solid episode. I can't hate. Season 2 starting off about as good as season 1 started off. Is this the season that everyone says that it gets good, or is it next season, Harrington? We have another how many episodes are in the season as well?
So many episodes. We should do like 3 an episode.
No, we're not doing 3.
I'll do 3, guys.
We take a full hour and a half to get through one episode each time, and we ADD it up and start talking about things that have nothing to do with the fucking show. So, no. Harrington, how many episodes are in this season?
I was going to say 4 to 7, according to Reddit.
Season 4 to 7.
4 to 7.
Many,
We're going to get to 2 more seasons.
How many episodes are in season 2 is what I asked. Let me know. Who knows? If the numbers grow to the way we want them to, maybe we'll do 2 a week. Who knows?
You want to know what's funny? I just re-signed up for Gas Digital so I can listen to things because I'm so low on this totem pole of this company that I have to pay for my own subscription.
I can get you a free membership.
Okay, well, when I signed up for it, I forgot to use my own promo code. After I did it, I used Ari, and I was like, why did I do that? Yes.
People didn't realize when you use Ari, it just gives me and Ralph more money. They think they're spiting me. It's like, we'll get an extra day. It's like, no, Ari doesn't take a fucking commission from any of the subscriptions. So you're just giving me more money.
I was so mad at myself.
Everyone is stupid. You're all dumb. No, stop trying to spite me when you're all just fucking retarded.
I was going to say you should make GWS. You should make that a 33-day subscription.
Okay, deal. We can do whatever we want. I own the company. How many episodes?
Well, you signed up and didn't.
Yes.
She's a retarded girl. Guys, if you love the show, go to gasdigitalnetwork.com. You can get every episode that we do ad-free and uncensored. You'll see we've been adding a video element lately. A lot of that has to be censored for YouTube, so you guys can get everything all in one place, gasdigitalnetwork.com. This is our 6th episode we've done with Gomez Watches Seinfeld, but you also get access to the complete on-demand libraries for Legion of Skanks, Real Ass Podcasts, Believe You Me, and 20 other incredible shows here on the Gas Digital Network. You get access to the Racist Live Chat and many other member benefits. T-shirts are coming out. I think we're going to do a limited run the first week of March. The Elaine Simp T-shirt, Jeniece's video, and then your generic Gomez Watches Seinfeld shirt as well.
You should let me design T-shirts for you.
You don't have any design experience.
I come up with so many dope ideas.
You're not really an idea person.
So I have this one idea. Tell him how you want to order these shirts and he's going to make it happen. I wanted a gun in the butt. The one of just Jay.
He just wants a gun in the butt.
I want Jay, the moment the gun's up his butt, when everybody's around him reacting. That would have been such a dope shirt. I want the Lewis quote shirts with your face over here, like superimposed looking up.
Right.
Like a school photo.
Okay.
I think those are
We'll
cool.
see. Maybe those shirts will be coming to podcastmerch.com
Rate them.
sometime soon. Thank you guys very much for watching today's show. We'll be back next week with another incredible episode of Gomez Watches Seinfeld. Until then, yada, yada, yada.